Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Renee Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Renee Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Renee Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Renee Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Renee Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior From El Paso, Texas, number 13, Rene Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Rene Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves during his playing time, and he was named the USA South Defensive Player of the Week on October 14th in 2019 after posting back-to-back clean sheets and wins over William Peace and Methodist. Majoring in sports medicine and biological psychology, Colton is the son of Matthew and Julie Dutches. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Colton Dutches. Fans, at this time, please direct your attention to the field as we begin our Senior Day ceremony for the Averett University men's soccer team. Before we honor our own senior, we'd like to recognize Mary Baldwin's lone senior from El Paso, Texas, number 13, Rene Ramirez. And now, let's honor our lone senior, number 00, Colton Dutches. A native of Sanford, North Carolina, Colton has appeared in 33 games, starting in 28 during his goalkeeping career. He's racked up 156 saves.
Check, 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 check. 1 2 1 2.
There it goes. What was it?
You didn't have the main mix-up.
Are you kidding?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Daily Field, where we are about 7 minutes away from the start of today's second half of the soccer game between the men's soccer game between the Averett University Cougars and the Fighting Squirrels of Mary Baldwin. I'm Assistant Sports Information Director, or former Assistant Sports Information Director, Davin Wilson, and I will be on the call today for today's game. And we do apologize about the earlier technical difficulties. Thought I had everything turned up on the board and ready to go, and it turned out that I had left one of the main controllers down. Not the smartest move on my part, but it is part of show business sometimes. And so, really, though, you have not missed much, as it has been a mostly midfield game. It's been a game mostly played in the middle of the pitch. Both of these two teams tied at 0. Neither team with a ton of opportunities created. Averett definitely has the advantage, though, right now, but they've just have been unable to get the ball in the goal to get anything to finish. We're going to take a look here at some of the statistics. Averett has outshot Mary Baldwin 13-2 so far. Averett, though, only 4 of those shots have been on goal. Averett with 3 corners compared to Mary Baldwin's 1. And so that's pretty much where we stand. Like I said, a game mostly played in the midfield. And since we are back on the air now, everything working. The starters for the game were, for Mary Baldwin, it was Abdulio Argueta in goal for the Fighting Squirrels. Then you had Kyle Creamer, sophomore defender, starting in the backfield. Excuse me. Then Ian Triplett, the sophomore midfielder. He was backed up by Dominic Fleming, the junior midfielder. Then you had Brandon John, the junior midfielder. Then Carter Panetta, the sophomore forward. Christian Reed, the junior defender. Jared Curling, the junior defender. Eddie Casco, the sophomore midfielder. Stephen Blair, the freshman midfielder, and Rajesh Scarlett, the freshman forward out of Atlanta, Georgia. Those were the starters for the Mary Baldwin Fighting Squirrels. Meanwhile, for your Averett University Cougars, it was Colton Duchess celebrating his senior day, getting the start between the pipes for the Cougars. Meanwhile, it was Sebastian Videgard that got the start in the midfield, a freshman. He was backed up by Esquiel Marquez, the junior defender. Then Bradley Bazell, the junior midfielder defender. Then you had Sebastian Viden, the sophomore defender out of Varnamo, Sweden. And then it was Yukpo Pusquets, the junior midfielder out of Yayayunca, Spain. Then it was Alexander Sorensen. Then Augustine Yaraba. Then Johnny Kumander, Rion Klaus, and Adrian Euler. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network. But when we come back in about a little over 3 minutes, we will have the start of the second half today. And we'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are back here at Daly Field at Frank R. Campbell Stadium. A beautiful afternoon here in Danville, Virginia. After a couple of consecutive days of rain, things have cleared up the past couple of days, and we've really had some nice ones. We do, of course, have some clouds rolling in. Looks like it could possibly get a little bit dicier as the afternoon rolls on, but we are already 45 minutes through this one, so let's hope that it holds off for another 45. If you're just joining us, you did not miss much, as you can tell by the scoreline in the first half. Neither team able to get on the board. Averett, though, sizable advantage in the shot column, as the Cougars have 13, only 4 on target, though, and that's been the big difference. Is Averett has done a nice job of getting the ball down the wings. They're spreading it out, making nice diagonal runs. They're reading each other well, playing effective, quick 1-2 touch soccer. And there, Averett with the ball now. That's going to be number 13, Brown, I believe it was. Or no, excuse me, number 15, Viden. He's sophomore defender out of Sweden. And Mary Baldwin now with the ball. They're going to try to get a attack going, as it was number 21, Rajiv Scarlett, the intended receiver on that pass, but just a little bit too far ahead of him. Averett on the throw. Nice play, nice header there by number 12, Christian Reed. Averett now, though, with the ball, trying to get the clear, get it up the field. It's number 21, Yukpol Pusquet. And he's going to drop it over, square it to Patrick Miller, who's going to drop it back to Videgard. Or, excuse me, he'll drop it back to Marquez. So it's going to be number 10, Miller now with the ball. He's going to square it over. So Averett now moving on the far side of your screen, left side, white jerseys, and some nice moves there from Averett, putting on a physics lesson. Bradley Bazell, and there is a nice ball in over to number 25, Johnny Kumander. And Kumander tried to get that one in there and unable to do it. I looked away to take a look at my roster for a second, and I thought I'd heard a deflection, but the referees are saying Mary Baldwin ball. They have a much better view on it than what I do up here, so we're going to roll with their decision. It will be a Fighting Squirrels goal kick. So we're looking here. Mary Baldwin went 8-11 last year, 5-8 in the USA South, 4th in the East Division. Lost 15, or returning 15 starters from last year's team. They lost 9, have 11 freshmen. Number 21, Rajiv Scarlett, being one of those. He's going to play a ball in the middle, and nothing going there. It's cleared out by Marquez. And that one's going to have a little bit too much sauce on it. Will go out of bounds. And it was actually last touched by a Mary Baldwin player. So that is going to be an Averett throw-in. It's going to be number 8, Bradley Bazell, the junior midfielder out of Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. Pretty good with my geography, but I do not know Sneads Ferry. So number 29, Adrian Euler now. And he's actually going to hand off the throw-in to Bazell. And Bazell is going to throw it in. And nice header there by number 16, Jared Curling, the junior defender out of Chesapeake, Virginia. No surprise, a great play from him, as the 757 area is stacked with incredible soccer talent. And there is a nice ball up the pitch. And that was intended for Scarlett, the speedy freshman forward out of Atlanta, Georgia. So number 21, Yukapo Pusquet. He's going to try to square that one. Nothing happening. Mary Baldwin now with the ball. It's going to be number 7, Ian Triplett. Triplett will get it over to Carl Panetta. So Mary Baldwin, and look at that, a nice little flick move by Brandon John. But it will not last long. Averett plays the ball over on a square. Miller, and it's going to be number 24, Yaraba. Jadraba took the rip there. So Averett already with a couple of chances here and have done a good job of moving the ball down on its end of the pitch in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. Still looking for that first goal as we are knotted at 0-0. I was talking with my cameraman Ethan Stevens up here as we were trying to get everything finished out or figured out with the audio in the first half, and we were talking about how much we're really digging these new Averett jerseys. The white with the gold cougar on the top. And we've got a foul, and there is a player down on the pitch. And we're going to see if there is a card that's going to be issued on this. I think it's going to be number 27, Kellen Fees. I think he's just going to get a warning on this one. But either way, Mary Baldwin with an opportunity here about free kick from about the football 19.5, 20-yard line, looking about 29 yards out right now from pay dirt. And a nice ball played over the top, probably a little bit too much float on it. And that is going to be number 19, Stephen Blair, having a look. But it goes far right by the football play clock. And we are going to have an Averett goal kick. Once again, would like to apologize for the delay here in the action. It was blame it on the user. And in other action, we do have we have NC Wesleyan and Averett right now squaring off in football action. Wesleyan with a 23-17 lead with 5:40 left in the third quarter. Averett looking for its first win of the season. And Bazell is going to play a nice ball over to Commander, but a nice defensive play there by Stephen Blair. And now it's going to be number 11, Pineda. Pineda is going to play it over to 21, Scarlett. We're going to have a foul whistled. I believe that is going to be on number 21, Scarlett. And once again, it looked like, and a quick restart there by the Cougars. It's number 21, Busquet. Busquet. And it's going to be number 29, Euler. Euler's going to try to square the field. It will go straight to number 7, Ian Triplett of the Fighting Squirrels. A nice ball in by Scarlett. Scarlett's trying to push. He's a quick guy, and he's going to have a shot near side to Duchess. Duchess pounces. So thank you for joining us here for this USA South men's soccer matchup between the Fighting Squirrels of Mary Baldwin and your Averett University Cougars. So that's going to be number 15 or number 16 currently, and heading the ball out, the junior defender. So I was speaking of just a second ago, coming out of the Chesapeake area. So now Averett with a quick reset. Bazell with the ball. He's going to square it, and a nice switch by Busquet. That ball is going to be cleared, though, by number 8, Dominic Fleming. Busquet had the right idea, though, switching fields, trying to go long and trying to prey on that unmanned side of Mary Baldwin's field. So 37-19 remaining in this contest, and it's been a very entertaining one thus far. If you are a fan of midfield, then of play in the midfield, and we're going to have a foul on that one. That was not very clean play, as that's going to be number 15, Sebastian Viden, going down. Number 7, Ian Triplett, getting called. Kind of surprised there wasn't a call there, or a card there, because there was really not much of an attempt to go to the ball, just trying to slow down Viden. And there will be not an issue warning. They're going to warn him to get the ball back. And there's a through ball, and it's a loose right now. But Argueta, what a play there. Coming out, reading that one, number 11, Pineda. And just a great play. So Pineda. And so Averett now trying to get the quick reset, and I don't know, there's a foul whistled there, and I think Averett benefited on that one. Looked like it was just a tangle up there, but a foul will be whistled. Averett will get the reset on the free kick, so Averett with some triangle passing right now, looking solid in it. And that ball is going to be played down the sideline over to number 24. That was number 24, Jaraba. And he was looking for Bazell, I believe it was. Unable to find the ball, goes out. So Averett having a solid year thus far. Everything considered with the COVID restrictions and having to do everything like they're having to do. Averett 4-2 on the year, 3-2 in the USA South. They are coming off a 3-2 victory at Pfeiffer after suffering a 2-game losing streak, falling NC Wesleyan 2-0, and then William Peace 1-0 in double overtime. A heartbreaking loss there for the Cougars. That represents their 2 USA South Conference losses. Some of the leaders thus far here for Averett. You've got Blick, who has 3 goals to lead the Cougars. Commander and Busquets, each with a pair of goals for Averett, while Ty Mickelson, Baste Edgerson, and Alex Sorensen each have a goal for the Cougars. So Colton, in his final season, has made 8 appearances in goal, has 20 saves on the year. Meanwhile, Mary Baldwin has their attack has been led by Dominic Fleming, Brandon John, and Connor Panetta, who each have a goal for the Fighting Squirrels, who come in at 0-4-1 on the year. And there is a ball switched across the field, intended to Bazell, a little bit too far right it was, to Bazell. So Mary Baldwin on the quick restart, number 10, Brandon John. Brandon John double teamed, and that's going to be number 26, Rion Class. Class back to Bazell. Bazell's going to play it down the line. That one is going to be met by number 16, Curling. Curling has made some big defensive plays over here on the right side for Mary Baldwin here in the second half, and that might be a mistake. No, it wasn't. It was ball played back, intended for Ezekiel Marquez. Marquez does a good job of getting that one away from an incoming Mary Baldwin defender, and things getting a little physical down there right now. And I believe that was number 5, Ezekiel Marquez. And we did. It was Marquez and Triplet, the sophomore out of Dallas, Texas, and Marquez looked like he had a little bit of frustration. Averett, though, with the ball, they're going to have a chance here. It is going to be a shot and a goal. Number 27, Kellen Fees, gets the ball in, a junior defensive midfielder out of Gettysburg, PA. So Kellen Fees getting on the board there. His first goal of the year. First goal of the game for either side, and Averett up 1-0. What a beautiful ball. Patrick Miller had it on the left side, cuts it down back to the right just a little bit, finds Fees. Fees a nice right step, right cross step in, gets in towards the box, takes his shot from about the football 7-yard line, and finishes it. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Averett has found pay dirt, and we'll take a 1-0 lead. And we'll take a 1-0 lead with 32:45. Right now, also in USA South Conference baseball, looks like it might be the bottom of the 8th. Averett with a 3-2 lead over William Peace. Averett looking to bounce back after a lost to the Pacers yesterday in the 3-game series opener. That will be capped off by today's doubleheader down in Cary. Beautiful USA Baseball Park down there in Cary. And there's a far ball played over. It goes out of bounds. Thanks to our cameraman Ethan Stevens for providing that update. He is also a pitcher with the baseball team in his first year. Hometown kid coming out of George Washington High School. We both share the same high school alma mater. Of course, I never could pitch. So he does have me beat in that advantage. And in other news, down in Rocky Mount, Averett has just taken a 24-23 lead. Football, as it was Gerard Mosby, 13-yard touchdown reception from Bryce Jackson, makes it 24-23, 2:40 in the third quarter. Averett has ended up on the wrong end of some heartbreakers here so far early on this season. So it would definitely be nice to see Coach Patrick Henry get his first win. Of course, Averett also has had a couple of its games postponed due to COVID. So square ball over to Bazell. Back to the action here. Bazell trying to hold on to that one a little bit. He's going to play it into a streak, and I believe that is Commander. And it was actually number 24, Augustine Jaraba. And Jaraba quickly met there on the run by Christian Reed, but a nice play there by Jaraba to know where Bazell was going with that ball. Good vision by Bazell to find him. And with a 1-0 lead, Averett is making it very clear that they are not happy to sit back and play a 0-0 game. They're looking to try to add on another goal. One thing you often hear after each goal in soccer is 0-0, 0-0. And it's just a reminder that things can change in a New York minute. And so Mary Baldwin trying to make that change, trying to even up the score line. And that was number 10, Brandon John, coming in with a fearless attack there as an Averett defender. It was number 29, Euler, had his leg about halfway up trying to get the half volley. And number 9, Hales, getting fancy with a little bit of footwork down there. Will not pay off, though, as Averett with the ball. Number 29, Euler, and number 10, Brandon John. Yes, sir, number 10, Brandon John, being pesky this half for the Fighting Squirrels, not letting up. It's number 11, Carter Panetta. Excuse me, I will get that right before the end of the day. We're going to have a stoppage, and I think we're going to have a yellow card here. Or Bazell's going to get a talking to at least, and he is going to get a yellow. So, first yellow card of the game issued 17 minutes into the first half. 28:59, or excuse me, the second half. So 28:59 remaining in this contest. So we're going to see where that's going to put Mary Baldwin. And it's going to be a corner kick. There's no foul called since the ball did stay with Mary Baldwin, but yellow card still issued, and a nice corner kick there. And I'm trying to see who had the attempt. I believe it was number 12, Christian Reed. And we've got another foul whistled on the far side. I believe, and now looking, I think it was Renee Ramirez that took that look for the Fighting Squirrels. A foul whistled as Averett got a little bit too hands-on down there trying to break up the Fighting Squirrels' attack, trying to keep this game from getting equalized, but they're in the process. They're going to give Mary Baldwin a free look here about 9 yards out, about 19 altogether from the football 9-yard line. There's the cross in, and it's going to be number 10, Brandon John. It just kind of deflects off of him. Number 14, Uzman Dansoko. That ball is played back to the Fighting Squirrels goalkeeper, Argueta. So Averett once again finds itself on the defending end, and there's a foul whistle there, and perhaps that was a happy call right there, but Of course, Mary Baldwin was the attacker, was impeded there a little bit. So a fair call, all things considered. And a nice header out of the box. And it's going to be number 12, Christian Reed. Reed over to John. John's going to get it over to number 13, Ramirez. So that's going to be number 26, Klaas, with the ball. He's going to play a nice ball down to Kumander, but just a little bit too much, as Jerry Curling is going to bounce it off the side padding over here on the home side. 26, Klaas. He's going to play a nice ball in. It's going to be number 25, Kumander. And Kumander is heartbroken after a nice defensive play there by the Fighting Squirrels to keep this score at 1-0. Kumander almost looked guaranteed. It was a little chip shot over Argueta's head. Ended up staying with it, maintained control, but nice defensive effort there by the Fighting Squirrels to keep this game keep this game at 1-0. 25:57 left to go in the game. There's the play in on the cross in, and oh, look at that header. And it's not over yet. Owens with a shot, Miller with a shot. Trying to see who it was on the header. I think it was actually Kumander on the header. Then Miller had the rebound attempt. But once again, Mary Baldwin stepping up, making a nice defensive play to keep it at 1-0. Mary Baldwin not out of danger yet as Averett with another corner kick. And Averett will definitely be looking to put together one like they just did a second ago. And that ball is cleared out by Brandon John. Perhaps one of the most dangerous plays in soccer is the corner kick, because you just never know how that ball is going to bounce. Anything like that. And here's a through ball that's going to create a situation for Averett. And it was actually Ty Mickelson who had the header on the corner. And then that was followed by Miller's rebound shot. That was blocked. So Mary Baldwin doing a great job there to keep this one at 1-0. So Averett will get the ball. We're going to have a substitution here. Trying to get you the number here. It's hard to see it on that far side. It's one good thing about being on that far end press box a couple of years back. You did at least had the little bit of advantage of trying to see who was coming into the game. It's a little bit harder here over on the other side now. 27, Kellen Fees into the game. Fees, it's going to be number 23, Sorensen coming into the game for the Cougars, who hold a 1-0 lead, but Mary Baldwin is determined to make that one not stand. We're going to have a foul whistled as number 10, Brandon John, just got a little bit too hands-on. Put a little bit too much elbow grease into that one. He will be whistled for a foul. So 1-0, 23-26 remaining in this contest. Clouds starting to settle in over Daly Field. Wind starting to blow a little bit, which always makes it a little tricky up here when you're trying to do video, because you have to be mindful of the camera. Make sure the wind does not catch that camera. And what a ball there. Number 23, Sorensen, over to number 8, Bazell. Bazell's going to get it over to 25, Kumander, but Kumander is going to give a shot to, I believe it is number 16, Curling. And he is down right now. I actually just think it's a cramp. That's what it looks like. It's either number 16, Curling, or 19, Stephen Blair. It's definitely one of those days for cramps, though. And I'd say it's probably in the mid-70s here in Danville. And And it's going to be number 19, Stephen Blair, the freshman midfielder out of Bristow, Virginia. Up there in Northern Virginia, not too far from the D.C. area. Have a fantastic amphitheater up there. I think the last time I went to a show up there was called the Jiffy Lube Amphitheater. But I've seen quite a few good bands up there, including the Beach Boys, Dave Matthews Band, Chris Stapleton. It's a nice place to go to see a concert. And so it's going to be number 10, Brandon John. And John is going to square that one all the way, or switch it all the way across the field. And a header there by number 7, Triplet. I think Triplet was wanting to try to get a little bit more of a left direction on that ball, try to send it in. But it's nearly impossible to control a soccer ball once it touches your head. Hard to get any kind of direction on it at all. And that's some of what we saw right there. And perhaps that is what was wrong with me today, leaving the audio down. Perhaps I hit too many soccer balls when I was younger and zapped away some brain power there. So number 12, Christian Reed on the throw-in for Mary Baldwin. That ball is going to get over to number 9, Robert Hales. And I don't know. We are going to have a stoppage here, though, and that's going to be a card. I do believe that was a very tough tackle there from Euler. So Adrian Euler, the freshman defender out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, is going to give Mary Baldwin a free kick from really the end zone, from the back of the end zone here in football. So let's see, Mary Baldwin lining up in what looks like a 7-man set right now, spreading things out. And it's going to be number 10, Brandon John, taking it. So here we go. That ball is played in, and it's a danger zone ball. Number 12, Christian Reed, got up and got his head to it, but I think he was just moving a little bit too fast to really have a decent shot at ever really being able to get full contact on that one. So with now 20 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game, Averett still holding on to its 1-0 lead. Averett looking to get out of here with a 5-2 record today. That ball is switched across to the left side of the field, headed away by Averett, out of bounds. Mary Baldwin ball. So we've seen the action come out of the midfield here a little bit more in the second half, as both teams have opened up a little bit here in the second period. Of course, at first it was Averett who was pressuring, led to the Fees goal there. And, of course, here lately, though, Mary Baldwin has been pushing a little bit more, trying to find that equalizer. Have been unable to do so far, but we still got a good amount of time left in this game. So Kellen Keys, his first goal of the season, came in the 57th minute to make it 1-0. About 12 minutes into the second half, Keys' goal came. So number 21, Scarlett. The ball is going to be played back to Marquez. Marquez has been a busy man back there out of the sweeper position today. And it's number 25, Kumonder. He's going to try to advance the ball forward, cleared away. So Kumonder, a successful career here so far at Averett, the 6-foot junior forward out of Bohus, Sweden. There's the throw-in and a nice one-touch flea flicker pass from Sorensen. And number 29, Euler. And so number 21, Scarlett. And that ball is going to be depossessed by Patrick Miller. He comes in there and takes it like the repo man. So number 5, Marquez, a nice pass over to number 27, Fees, who does a nice job of one-touching that back to Bazell. Bazell gets it over to Euler. Euler now gets the ball on the far side of the field. So Averett with an opportunity. There's a shot by number 13, Connor Brown, blocked by Mary Baldwin's defense. Ball squared out to number 23, Sorensen. And that one will be pushed away by Mary Baldwin's goalkeeper. So I have to take a look here, and he's had a very busy day. Gaeta has. And trying to see how many saves he has right now. I know he's got to be getting up there with them. And there's a nice push away by Argueta on the corner kick. And that could have been dangerous if he didn't get that one. But he does. Pushes it away. So now we're 17 minutes and 34 seconds left in this one. 1-0 Averett. Keys' goal has been the difference, but Averett with an opportunity here. And I believe that was number 15, Viden, Sebastian Viden. And he tried to go far post over there. Good idea. But he just went a little bit too far post. And that shot does go right. And so we got a 1-0 ball game, 17 minutes remaining. Let's see what transpires over those final 17 minutes. So number 22, Del Castillo, into the game. Is going to get it over to Reed. Reed, a square ball. That was intended for number 14, Don Soko. I like that last name, Don Soko. Reminds me of the Godfather. And Mary Baldwin looked like it went off number 10, Brandon John, up here in the press box, but Mary Baldwin will keep possession. And so we're glad to see number 16, Curling, back into the game, who went down just a minute ago. Hopefully just a cramp, Del Castillo. That ball is going to be dropped back to number 2, Kyle Creamer. So it's going to be number 16, Curling. That ball is played forward. It's going to be waiting on Scarlett. Scarlett trying to carve through the Averett defense like turkey. And a nice cross there by Reed. Nothing going. Mary Baldwin, though, still playing very spirited offense, trying to keep the ball down. And it's going to be number 14, Don Soko, having an attempt, but that is blocked. Averett trying to get the quick restart going. Levi Partanen in the game. Partanen in the game for the Cougars. So it'd be a good way for Colton Duchess to end his home career here at Averett with a clean sheet. And there's a beautiful through ball over to Sorensen, but Curling has really been a thorn in Averett's side. He has done a heck of a job down there on that left wing. Right wing if you are looking from the screen. Of course, left wing if you're on the field. So we're going to have number 7, Triplett, and number 20, Michael John, come into the game. Triplett, the sophomore midfielder from Dallas, Texas. John, the freshman midfielder out of Clarksburg, Maryland. So that ball is cleared out. Header, nice play there by Fleming. And that ball is going to go out. Everybody's going to claim it's theirs. And in the end, the officials will agree with the Cougars. Ladies and gentlemen, would like to thank you very much for tuning in to today's game. I believe the last time I checked, we were up to about 60 viewers. So we appreciate you guys, and a little bit of physical activity going down on the field. Nothing whistled, though, and Viden learning his lesson there, trying to shield the ball. He's going to get it off to number 13, Brown. Ball cleared Mary Baldwin trying to mount an attack. A nice clear there by Averett's defense. Trying to get a number on that clearance. And so while we've got a break in play, we're actually going to take a look here around and see how some of Averett's other teams are doing. So football has now extended its lead to 31-23 with 5:24 left in the game. 31-23 over NC Wesleyan. Now we're going to go take a quick look at baseball here and see what's doing. And Averett and William Peace in a bottleneck game, 3-3 in the top of the ninth. Of course, Averett volleyball also here at home today. We can't leave them out. Almost did, but we can't leave them out. And today's match against William Peace University ended in a 3-1 loss to the Pacers. An interesting situation there for William Peace is you've got Heath Behringer. He is the graduate assistant here, working in sports information for Averett. Then you've got Danny Miller, of course, and Mary Baldwin with an opportunity. There's going to be a tie-up. And I tell you one thing, if you're Marquez right there, you got to be a little bit smarter than that. And Marquez is going to protest, but no real need to. As that was a pretty dirty play. Marquez will get the yellow card there. They were trying to get an appeal, but Marquez was never going to win that appeal, as Marquez realized he might be beat and just did what he had to do to slow down the play. I don't think that's going to be a card that Wilson necessarily yells at Marquez for, but so it's going to be Fleming, number 8 Fleming and Triplett, both around the ball right now discussing it. Let's see who's going to take over. We'll get back to the Averett Volleyball William Peace story here in a minute after the action is done here. Some interesting stuff. And so let's see if Fleming is going to fake this one and let Triplett take it, or vice versa. It's going to be from about 29 yards out, about the football 19-yard line. And it is going to be Fleming with the shot. And Fleming is going to knot this one at one as he finds the right side of the net. And looking back in retrospect, how big of a deal is that foul and yellow card from Marquez going to be, as that allowed Fleming to step up and really bury a gorgeous shot into the right side of the net. So 1-1 now with 12:14 remaining in regulation. So getting back to the Averett William Peace story, as I mentioned earlier, Heath Behringer, graduate assistant here with sports information at Averett. Then you have Danny Miller, longtime volleyball coach here at Averett. And then you have Nicole Behringer, William Peace's volleyball coach, who just also happens to be the older sister of Heath Behringer, and also was a former player and an assistant coach for Miller here at Averett. So it's always fun to see that matchup play out. Of course, I'm sure it's not fun for Heath and Nicole or the families or their family, as you, in a way, you might feel like you have to pick between one of the two, as Nicole did have a heck of a academic and athletic career here at Averett. Actually won the Woman of the Year award here at Averett. I believe she also won it for the USA South Conference her senior year. And I've had the pleasure of getting to know both of them over the years. And Mary Baldwin now looking at a chance to try to go ahead. Scarlett driving in. Duchess says, I ain't ever scared. Comes out, makes a diving tackle, pushes that one away. And excuse me, I'm not ever scared. My mom would be very upset with me if she heard me say ain't on that one. But that's the lyric of the song, so that's what I went with, and that's what we're going to go ahead and stick with, even though it is grammatically terrible. But you tuned in for a soccer game today, not a grammar lesson. And so Averett trying to square the pitch. They will do a good job of it and trying to create something down the line. A nice diagonal run, but great job there by Mary Baldwin's defense to sniff that one out like McGruff. They're going to clear it out. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard me broadcast before, then I do apologize about some of the puns. I love puns, and I try to use them as much as I can here in the broadcast. Try to do that and drop a little pop culture knowledge, and let's see a high bounce there as Argueta does a good job staying home and keeping his eye on that one. And so number 8, Fleming. And so it's going to be number 23, Sorensen. Sorensen with the ball across the middle, and a nice flick pass there by Kumar, running behind his back to number 24. Number 24, Jaraba. And I believe we are going to have a foul whistled, or they're going to say it went out of bounds. Back at about the 24, 23-yard line. Clock still running, of course. 9:20 left in this one. 9:17 now. 1-1 is your score. Averett got the first goal of the game at the start of the second half when it was Kellen Fees. Split 2 defenders, beat the goalie to the right to make it a 1-0 game in favor of the Cougars. That stood for about 20 minutes as Dominic Fleming just a second ago adds his second goal of the year on a beautiful free kick. And Duchess doing a great job right there on the defending that free kick. Picked the side, read where Fleming was going. It was just that good of a shot, and there's not much that Duchess was really going to be able to do about it. But some say he should not have been in that situation in the first place, as it was a hard foul coming down there towards the end. Ends up costing the Cougars their second yellow card and the lead. Got to play a little bit smarter than that, especially when you're nursing a 1-goal lead. And you're also looking to try to fight for a playoff spot. And Averett trying to erase that goal, though. It's number 15, Viden. He's down, and he's going to be shoved to there by number 19, I believe, Blair. So things getting a little chippy down there right now between these two sides. And both teams right now need to just keep their heads together, control the emotions. Because as we have already seen, as we saw just a few minutes ago, emotions can come back and bite you. And so Blair is going to pick up the card. That was just blatant. One hand on the back, and so we're going to see here what Averett can do. It's going to be number 24, Jaraba. Jaraba is going to have a shot, and just a touch over the bar, but Jaraba had Argueta beat. He could have just gotten his head down over it just a touch more. That's one thing that is key. You keep that head down. You keep that leg tucked in. Get as much control over that ball. Send it in as low as you can. And that's what we saw Jaraba do right there. But it looked like the wind that's blowing here out of the south end at Daly Field might have caught the underneath of that ball on its upspin, on its up travel, and ended up right, so Mary Baldwin with the restart at midfield. And it's going to be number 20, Michael John. John has been a big force on this Mary Baldwin team. And that's going to be number 19, Stephen Blair, having a look. That was always going to be a tough shot, as he was going to have to pretty much one-touch that one right into the goal with the ball rolling right at him. And trust me, that is never an easy play to make. Never an easy shot to take. And we're going to have a foul here on the field. I really wouldn't be surprised to see another card. And we're just going to see a warning, I believe. But Averett right now has got to do a better job of keeping its head into the game, not letting itself be ruled by emotion. And there's a long attempt on goal, pushed away by Duchess. And that one looked a little dangerous there for a second. A quick throw in by Mary Baldwin. Ball is still not out of the box. Averett's still not in the clear. And Jaraba will eventually get the ball. He will be dispossessed. Sorensen now. And we're going to have a foul. And it's going to be number 23, Sorensen. And red card. And we're going to see who the red card was on. It's actually going to be on number 4, Sebastian Videgard. And his afternoon will be over. So Sebastian Videgard will have to go take a seat. Averett will have to play a man down. Originally, the foul was called on Mary Baldwin. So it must have been some stuff, some extracurricular stuff after that led to the red card after the play, maybe some jawing. Things have gotten heated down here in the second half. And so let's see how this is going to affect the Cougars. 5:01. They will now be a man down the rest of the game. So let's see how this is going to affect Averett's approach. As we said, they will be a man down the rest of the game. Let's see if they're going to. And there is a nice long free kick into the box. Will not come to fruition. As we see Averett Athletic Director Meg Stevens down there on the side of the field making a nice stop of her own as that ball went out of bounds. And there's the ball. It's cleared back up the field by Mary Baldwin, trying to get an attack going, but nothing happening there. That one is played across. It's going to be number 5, Marquez. That ball is played across. I'm trying to get a number on that. And that was a little bit too much effort right there by, I believe it was number 27, Fees. Averett trying to get the ball switched and squared in, and a nice play there. Sorensen, the intended receiver, just a little bit behind him. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a thriller going down in USA South Conference football in Rocky Mount. 33-29, Averett leads, 1:41 in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look here at the baseball score, which was 3-3 the last time we checked in the top of the ninth. And William Peace comes out on top of that one in a heartbreaker, 4-3. So now Averett with a chance here. There's a shot on goal. That was number 26, Kloss. And that one is saved. Rion Kloss. So Marquez now. That ball is going to be a towering clear. And it's going to be headed by number 25, Kumonder. So Mary Baldwin, that ball is going to be squared out to number 8, Fleming. So Fleming gets it over to number 28, Brooks. Brooks squares it across. That ball is cleared. So Brooks, and he will play that one. He will switch fields. A header there. Duchess comes out, makes the nice play. I'm trying to get you a number on who the header was for the Fighting Squirrels. I believe it was number 8. And it was actually number 11, Panetta. Panetta. I think we're going to get another warning on both sides here. And Marquez has got to be careful. Brooks picking up the yellow card for Mary Baldwin. Marquez has got to be careful, though. He already has the yellow card from earlier in the afternoon. One more, and he will be asked to leave the game. And there's a long floating free ball into the box. Deflected off a Mary Baldwin defender. Averett maintains, or Averett had the touch on it. Unable to maintain possession. Mary Baldwin will now take over on the throw-in. So 125, looks like we are going to be headed to extra here. So Marquez is going to have an absolute tear, and oh man. Woo. Well, I tell you one thing, I would have hated to be Argeta looking in at that one. And as we mentioned earlier, William Peace with the walk-off victory over Averett 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. But Averett keeps moving in the direction it's moving in. And Mary Baldwin now is going to be number 21, Scarlett. Scarlett with it. He's going to drop that one back to number 22, Del Castillo. And Castillo just sent that one into orbit. That one probably just collected about 2,000 frequent flyer miles. But as we were talking about Averett's baseball team just a second ago, they are a young squad. They have a young coach and second-year coach, head coach Kenny Fleming. He actually did spend some time here as a GA, was a GA with me over here at Averett. Coached for about 3 seasons. So we're down to the final 10. So Averett trying to get one last punch. Sorensen, and Sorensen just tries to take a desperation attempt there. Running full momentum, unable to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to extras here in Danville, 1-1. But we're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network. We'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, once again here, welcome back to Daly Field at Frank R. Campbell Stadium. And ladies and gentlemen, 1-1 as we move into overtime, 2 10-minute periods. A winner is not determined by then is a good old-fashioned draw with it not being a tournament game and nobody surviving or advancing, or nobody surviving or going home on this one. And so Marquez with the manly beard down there that you can see from up here in the press box, the junior midfielder or junior defender, 5'7", 167, coming out of Uruguay. So it's going to be number 15, Viden. Ball is headed away, number 21, Yukbo Busquets. Ball is given to Miller. By the time you say that full name, he's usually already gotten rid of the ball, and Busquets going to get whistled for a no-brainer of a foul right there. He was all over him like suntan lotion on skin at the beach. And we're going to have a stoppage. I think we're going to get a sideline warning here for Averett. Nope. I think we're going to actually have a rain delay here, as we've got some storms moving in. We were talking about how thunder and lightning delay right now here at the Averett Mary Baldwin game. And so I think you got to go 12 minutes, I believe is what it is, without any thunder or lightning in the area before you can resume. And of course, we've got both men's and women's lacrosse here today following this soccer game. So not exactly the best time for a rain delay here in the soccer game. Of course, never a good time for one, but certainly not right now. But while we are delayed, and before we go to break, we are going to take a look here at some quick results. As we were talking about, busy day here. 4 home events altogether for Averett here in Danville, as the women's volleyball team dropped a 3-1 contest to William Peace. Then, of course, also we are in a 1-1 tie here in this USA South Conference matchup, men's soccer conference matchup between Mary Baldwin and your Averett University Cougars. And then also football was playing today down in Rocky Mount, North Carolina at NC Wesleyan. And then baseball as well.
Do you want to announce we're in a weather delay?
I already have. And okay. And just got some word from our assistant sports information director, Joseph Swanson, that we are going to be in this delay for a while, it looks like. Storms completely surrounding the area right now. And yes, we just saw a nice little streak of lightning down there over Mount Cross Road. And as I said, we are in the middle of a weather delay right now. But as we're going to, and as I mentioned, we're going to take a look here, and we're going to get some other results around here. As I mentioned earlier, was Averett coming out over top of NC Wesleyan in football, 33-29. Averett built its lead to as much as 31-23. So for Averett, it was Will Cavanis 18-yard field goal. Then NC Wesleyan struck back with 2 quick scores on Gary Daisy's 6-yard run and Jai Irvin's 35-yard reception. Made it 13-3. Then Chase Nixon gets the Cougars their first score of the game with 7 seconds left in the first half on a 10-yard pass from Bryce Jackson to Chase Nixon. Gary Days then got into the end zone for his second score to make it 20-10. That's when Averett started mounting a comeback. Dante Lambright, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Jackson, makes it 2017. A Juan Suarez field goal makes it 23-17 NC Wesleyan. And then Gerard Mosby's reception, so makes the difference in this one. And then Averett baseball, a 4-3 loser against William Peace, a gut-wrenching loss there in the opening game of that doubleheader. And then, of course, volleyball with the 3-1 loss as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we're on rain delay, I'm running out of things to talk about. So, we're going to take a break here for maybe 10, 15 minutes, see exactly what we've got going on, check the weather, and we're going to see exactly how things are going to play out here in Danville. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to give you an update here real quick. We have been told that the game has got to resume by 4 o'clock if it is going to be finished. If it's going to be finished, of course, we do have a time protocol that we have to wait. We have to wait 30 minutes between thunderclaps or lightning flashes before we can resume play. So, not to be a Debbie Downer, but it's not exactly looking that great that we're going to get the rest of this one in today. And of course, if you are late or are just joining us, we were tied at 1, getting ready to start or we had actually already started the the first overtime, excuse me, when the game was called. So just keep it locked here for about another 20 minutes. Once we know something once we know something for sure, we will relay it here to you on the Averett Sports Network. Keep it locked right here. And ladies and gentlemen, just to give you an update on everything here before we sign off today, today's game has been suspended. It is going to be ruled a draw with the score tied at 1-1 with 8:49 left in the first overtime period. Both teams really completed this midfield battle today, much the way that you would expect from a game that was really, like I said, played primarily in the middle of the pitch. Of course, Averett did have quite a few chances to get that golden goal or to win the game, and were not able to do so. Of course, Mary Baldwin with a few of its own opportunities as well, and not able to do so either. And so the game will end up tied at 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in with us, as always, here on the Averett Sports Network. And we hope you'll keep it locked here. And don't forget to check out all the latest Averett Athletics action on AverettCougars.com. On behalf of Averett University Athletics and the Averett Sports Information Department, I'm Davin Wilson, signing off. Have a great night.